I built this working animatronic for my Minecraft Dark Ride, where you board a zombie Nautilus and travel through an entirely thought-out story. Yes, I gave lore to a mollusk. This is all part of my efforts to build every single possible working ride that I can within the limits of vanilla Minecraft, and place them all together into one beautiful theme park. And here we are once again inside of the park where, yeah, I've been really busy.
Subscribe. Good.
This is Ronilo's Italiano Ristorante. It's my very first restaurant in the theme park, and we finished it together on stream. If you don't know, I stream every Sunday at the time on screen, and during those streams, we completed this restaurant together with a golden chandelier, a fountain in the back, so many places to sit, a little restroom area on the side. That doesn't exist quite yet. There is also another area over here with a view of the Fly-A-Swine attraction. You can watch people go on the ride as you enjoy your meal. The kitchen is back here, complete with a wood fire pizza oven, a dishwashing station, a place for all of the finished meals, a place to cook them, an emergency exit. And over here, there is a little storage room and a freezer. Look at all those meats! I wouldn't eat them yet though, they're pretty raw. And upstairs, there's a nice lamp and some more seating area, a window that people can look down at the staircase from. This area is very similar to the first floor, but it has a balcony that you can look down to it. And it has a bar with our little bartender, Mr. Oaken, handing me a spyglass. Now how am I supposed to drink that? And yeah, that is about it for Ronilo's Italiano Ristorante, the most delicious Italian restaurant where you can get all kinds of pizza and pasta delivered straight to your table. And now it is time for something very special. In the last episode, I asked you all what I should name all of the horses on the new and improved carousel, and, well, you delivered. I got way more name suggestions than there are horses to name. So I picked my 8 favorite ones, and let's go through them and name them all. Starting off, our netherite horse will be named John Horse. What a perfect name for this noble steed. And this brown one here we will name Dasher. Our donkey has a very special name, Horse. Horse Donkey. Now this horse has a little bit of lore behind it, and it is wearing diamond armor. We're gonna call it Blue. This brown one here is going to be named Charles, after the very first man to create a carousel, right? Yes, that's correct. And our only llama on this attraction is going to be named Bartholomew. This next horse wearing some white leather armor is going to be named Dante. And our final horse has a very special name, Dinnerbone. Oh my gosh. Is this ride still going to work? We have to try this. Oh my goodness. This is insane. What the heck is this? Oh my gosh. Look at this guy. He's such a runner. He's just running in the air. Oh, this is very Minecrafty. And there we go. Now that all of our horses have names, it is time to get to work on our main attraction. If you haven't seen the last episode where we started this attraction, I highly recommend you watch that one first, and then come back here to watch the rest of this one. But if not, that's okay, because I'll catch you up to speed. Let's take a ride, and I'll show you what I've done. So now you just start off by going immediately into the water, where I have added some bubble columns around you, going down with some hidden magma blocks to show that you're going down deeper and deeper into the water. The Nautilus still run away from our Zombie Nautilus ride vehicle as we go past them, and I redid the lighting in this entire room. I made this area darker and the other areas brighter. I just used sea pickles for all of it instead of hiding brighter lights. I don't know why I didn't think of this originally. Then you go into the nether where there's still nothing here. Did it break? The ride broke. Oh my goodness. You know, I really thought I had this fixed by now. I've done it so many times. I'll work on that. But that's not your problem. Entering back into the overworld, you can see the giant foot above you. I added some TNT noises to make you turn around before you speed off away into the palm of a hand. Down the drain where you see the flying Nautiluses, and then we leave off here. Oh my gosh, why does my guy have no health? That's not good. He's gonna die. Can we save him? Can we save his life? I think we saved his life. I've turned on some night vision so we can see a little better what I've done. I added another foot in the wall to show that he's stepping forward. I added this little system down here. When you pass over the detector rail, it launches some TNT out of a dispenser into some water, so it just explodes without doing any damage, just for the sound effect, because I want people to look behind them. I make it so you get parked right here, so you'll be right here. You hear the TNT, so you look behind you at the foot, see it, and then get launched this way. And I kind of want to add some more TNT alongside this entire track. I want the TNT to almost sound like footsteps as you're running away from the child and end up going into his hand. And I don't think anyone noticed this, but I added a face up at the top. And this is what it looks like normally without night vision. I mean, it's pretty dark, but I don't really want to add any lights up there. I just want it to be subtle. Nice little subtle detail. And well, that's all I've done. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it took a long time. And a lot more work is ahead of us. But first, let me reveal the name of this ride. The Curse of the Nautilus. Bum, bum, bum. And I made a to-do list of all of the things that we need to finish before this ride can be considered completed. First of all, we need to make the zombie guy's house. So when you go in the nether, it's all empty. So we need to build his house that you go inside of. Then we need to build the fish tanks in the cave maze, which is the area right after you go down the black spiral. Then the kitchen. So the kitchen is going to be the room that the fish tanks are in. So I want you to be able to look out of the fish tank into the kitchen. So we need to build that as well. And then from the kitchen, you go down a drain into the sewers. And then the sewers lead you directly to the finale and your new home. And then to exit the ride, we needed to get an elevator all the way back up to the top and then an exit. And then after all of that, we need to work on the building in front, which includes a facade, a queue, and a gift shop. Oh, hey, and did you notice those mountains are different? Don't look at them. They're not beautiful yet. They're gonna be beautiful one day. It's about time I get to work finishing this ride. So let's start with our first item on the to-do list, the zombie house. Let's head to the nether. I started off by just copying the entire cave entrance from the overworld into the nether and then completing the entire rock around it to make a little house. So starting on the inside, I textured up everything, textured the floor, the walls, the ceiling. I wanted to look like a rock. I wanted to look like a giant rock this guy just caved out, made a home inside of, got some tables and some like little workbenches for himself. A little bit cartoony-ish here. I want this guy to be kind of a collector of sorts, have some cool stuff in his collection. And then we built a little bedroom with some beds that are sadly empty. And there we go. Our Nautilus now has a home. You'll enter through the portal here into our Zombie Nautilus's little house where he is definitely a collector. A Rubik's Cube, a crystal, all kinds of different stuff in here to look at. All kinds of lore hidden throughout here. The beds of his parents still remain, dead plants around it. There are 2 armors missing from their display. They have gone somewhere. Are they dead? Are they alive? Are they missing? Who knows? But he mourns their loss and he stays in his bed where he's a little bit of a messy eater. He's got his fish and bones all around here. He's got a nice collection of little shells to put on. It's not too much, but it took me a long time, and that's probably more because of the stuff down here. This was hard to get right. I made it so the pig comes out of this portal. Usually you can waterlog the rails to make it slow down just a bit, but since you can't do water in the nether, I made it do a little bit of a wave, go around in a circle so that you go around the table, all the way around and down here where you hit a detector rail setting off some TNT. So all of these are little dispensers with lava at the bottom so they don't do any damage, and the pig continues to go into another detector rail, stops to see these little beds for a moment before going over here, going and sitting in bed, and that's when the TNT starts going off, getting closer and closer. You speed off. The first powered rails in this room in a row speed you right toward the door to go back out the bottom portal. So you will of course exit through this portal again, and there's the foot. You'll immediately be hit with a giant foot above your head. I also added a bunch of soul sand in this area. Oh my gosh, those bubble columns make this feel a lot more intense. And of course, this area has some TNT as well. The original one is still there, and it connects to a bunch more to follow you as you run away from the foot and into the hand, which is blocked by a bunch of soul sand now. You'll have to go through the bubble columns to go in, and that creates a really cool effect. And you'll have to wait to see that later, because I'm not going to ride this just yet. I'm going to wait until the very end of the video, and we'll do a full ride through of the ride. But before that, I want to show you one more thing I did, and that has to do with the portals. Remember how it broke earlier? Well, I made a big change here. This portal used to always be off, and then once the pig went through the bottom portal, it would get turned on at the exact same game tick. And now, that portal doesn't turn off or on at all. All of the portals are always on now, and I've just tried to time it so that the pig and the Nautilus go through the portals at the exact same time. Every time it breaks, I make a slightly tiny little bit of an adjustment to ensure that they both go through at the exact same time. But now we can officially come to our to-do list and mark off the first thing being the zombie house. Hooray! And now it is time for the fish tanks and cave maze. I have 2 identical fish tanks down here in the dark. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate the second fish tank first. I'm going to decorate the inside of the fish tank and also build a room in this area. I'm going to try to fill as much space as I can so that when you look out the fish tank, it looks like you're looking into a full-size bedroom as a little bitty Nautilus guy. So I'm going to have to make a sink that is really big. I'm going to have to make some really big walls. I'm going to have to make some really big paintings on the wall. And it's going to be quite a lot of work. But once this one is done, all I have to do is copy it over for the second fish tank and break out this wall, which there is nothing behind. I just have to make sure I don't go too high, because then it will be in the lake. And then once the fish tanks are done, I have to connect them with a little bit of a swirly maze, and we should be ready for the next section. So let's get this part done. I'll see you in the time lapse. Oh boy, here we go. This is the big room. I got some really big walls, some really big floors, and some really big ceilings to decorate here. I know I said this is supposed to be a kitchen, but it's more going to be like a laundry room or a storage room of sorts. It's going to have the fish tank, it's going to have the sink, and it's going to have some objects on the counter. And I ended up having the greatest idea to move the sink further away from the fish tank so that you have to glide along the counters through a maze of giant objects around you as you make it to the sink for your escape. This might just be the weirdest building project I've ever done. I never realized how hard building small things in real life to be big in Minecraft is. And I was very particular about the items I chose to display here because I wanted them to be pretty obvious what they're supposed to be. Like this is supposed to be a water bottle. I don't know if that one's the most obvious. This one's also a water bottle, but this one's a reusable one. This one's obvious, fish food and a fish catcher. We of course have a can of soda, orange Tang, some batteries, which are actually some of my favorite objects in this area. They're so cool looking and it's so easy to tell what it's supposed to be. This, can you tell what this one is? It's a toothbrush. All clean. And I have a little bit of an army of ants here going at some crumbs in the corner of the bookshelf. The massive flowers towering above everything else, and a little toy car on the shelf, of course. And this guy's supposed to be one of those bookend things that holds up the bookshelf. He's doing a great job at it. And then this one's definitely obviously a sponge, because fortunately sponges are a block in Minecraft, so next to a sink, it's a match made in the kitchen. But we also have a pencil and a marker. And of course, our giant sink. Oh yeah, look at that thing. It's got some corrosion on it. It's even got a little bit of a drippy faucet. There's a paper towel roll and a little bit of a ball of paper over there. You may have noticed I also have some pictures on the walls. This one is supposed to be the mountains of the theme park with the waterfall going down. They're not done yet, but when they're done, it will be a direct representation of them. And let me know in the comments if you can guess what ride this picture is a reference to. We of course have a lamp and some lights on the top, but none of these lights are on. And that is simply because this is what the room is supposed to look like. This is the nighttime version of the room. So there's going to be a copy of this room right over here, as you know. So this fish tank is going to be another copy of this entire room, but that one will be the daytime version. So when you're going through this maze of objects, it's going to be pretty dark. Only a little bit of light around here so that you can tell what everything is around you. Almost as if Zombie Nautilus might have a little bit of a night vision, but not too much. Just enough for the vibe I want to achieve. Now let's take a look inside of our fish tank. So we of course have a cave in the corner, covered in coral and plants, and some fishies around it. We have Nemo, we have Frederick, and then over here inside of Squidward's house, we have Sal. And he's just poking his head out there. And yeah, that's about it. Some coral in here. It's a very simple build, and it looks great from the outside too. Looks like a real fish tank. It even has a filter on it. But yeah, in terms of the actual ride system in this room, I completely demolished it. So it comes in and then there's a big break in the rails. We're going to need it to go all the way around here to the sink and all the way down and around. I completely changed the ride layout for the better, hopefully. So there's still lots of work to do before this side of the ride is done. But before we do anything more, it's time to copy the entire thing over to this side. Oh goodness, I'm always nervous about this part. Hopefully this goes well. You will come into this room where all you see is a lamp and a sink. You're not even gonna see anything more than this view here before you go into the cave. So this entire room is just for this view. But you can tell that the lamp is on and the sink is really lit up, so that must be why you can see it. But I also added a bunch of lights around the fish tank, and these lights on top are on in this room. But now we have to build a child. But that's gonna take a little bit of redstone. And this is all it is. It's a sticky piston and a block pressing up against the glass. Do you see where I'm going with this? Poke, poke, poke. Take that, stupid fish. So now we have to build a child. I took the face from earlier where he was looking down at you while he caught you in his hand, and I just adjusted it, made it look more 3D, made the mouth open and close, connected it to an arm nicely, and then built some redstone to make it work, which I will explain, but first, you gotta see this.
Hey, little guy, I like to poke ya. Poke. Poke. Poke.
I have made a puppet! And you can even control the two separately. You just need to put the lever there and control the mouth with this lever and the hand with this lever. And this system connects to this system. This is a pig. He's the puppeteer. This pig here, he's gonna go around his track. And when he goes around this track, he's going to trigger all of these detector rails, which is basically encoding the movements of our guy. It's the most simple animatronic. It only has 2 movements, but when he goes on this detector rail, it's gonna hit the poker, and this one's gonna hit the poker, and this one's gonna hit the mouth. So when the pig goes over all these detector rails, he's gonna be talking and poking while you're on the ride. You can call this our theme park's first animatronic. And look, he's just a little guy. He's so cute, just looking at you. Let's see how the encoding I did for the mouth and arm are looking with a little test. We just have to put a cart on this thing because that's going to turn it on. So let's see what it would look like if we were on the ride. It didn't work. All right, I did a little bit of cleanup. Let's test it one more time. Oh, he talks. He points. He points. Oh, he points for a long time. I'm not sure how to fix that. I'll come back to that. But for now, this room is completed. Complete with the first animatronic in this entire theme park. I might make some more of these kind of things. I quite like it. We'll see how it is on the ride though. Oh, and we're almost done. Now it is time to make the room in between the 2 rooms where you go into a little bit of a maze, get some disorientation, so that when you come out to this one, it sort of just feels like you went back into the room that you came out of. But this one has no guy. He's gone. Where'd he go? But yes, super exciting. And now let's get this transition room and all of the track layout in this room completed. We now have ourselves a cave. This cave is made to get lost in. I want every room to look exactly the same as the last. But of course, you won't be looking at it like this. You'll be looking at it like this. Much darker, much creepier, much more intense. And the whole reason that we go in this cave at all is because we are looking for a special friend of ours. Well, not yet friend. This is where we're gonna meet our ally. So when we first get sent into this room with the kid poking at the glass and laughing at us, our Zombie Nautilus is going to notice the coral Nautilus in the cave and go running after her. And now she doesn't trust nobody. She don't even trust Frederick. And Frederick's a nice guy. But we are going to chase the Coral Nautilus and immediately lose her. She's going to go hide out in this little spot back there while we continue down the path. And once again, when we enter this room, we will see the Coral Nautilus over here looking out to see there's no child. When the Coral Nautilus notices that we found her, she rushes this way and climbs the wall of the fish tank to get away. And now we're not just going to let her get away with this. We're going to follow her. So we follow her up the fish tank and go through the objects as follows. And now we have ourselves an ally. Hopefully she likes her new home because she's kind of stuck here for pretty much her whole life. There's one here where it is connected to the pig below. So when you go over the detector rail, it's going to be triggered to go into the cave, speedily around the corner and hide. And then once our Nautilus passes by and goes around this loop, it will trigger this detector rail, which will send the Nautilus back to its starting position for the next ride. And that's all. This one was easy. This one, however, was much harder. Let's take a look at the tracks. So the pig is on this track. It goes around, down, up a bubble vader, drops down onto these rails, catches it, stops for a second, continues going around this entire giant loop around the entire room, all the way up here, up into the cave where a piston block will open it up so the Nautilus can go through back around to the starting position again. It's just one giant loop. But we're only going to see the first half, so we're going to see it as it goes up and drops down, and then it's going to speedily run off where we won't see it again. But we won't know that it went around here, behind the bookshelf, into that hole, all the way through, up this shallow incline of snow layers so that it will go up one by one to the correct height, into the cave, and back around to the start. How about we see this in action? Let's hit the button and watch the Nautilus from above. I'm going to go up the top of the fish tank, jump on top. Perfect job. Jump down onto the slime blocks, bounce a little bit, give it a second, and now it speeds away around the bookshelf, through the back, into the hole, all the way around where it won't be visible. Up all of the snow layers, look at her go, and back into the cave once again. Good job, pig. You're a great lead. And there's probably more finicking around I can do to make it even more perfect, but I like it. I like it a lot. And just you wait till we actually get to ride it and see it happen in person. But for now, there is more ride to finish. Once we go through this room, we are going to go into the sink where I added the scuba equipment. We're going to drop down the drain and into the sewer system. It's a whole lot of nothing. But now that our sidekick is officially part of the ride, we can mark off fish tanks and cave maze and the kitchen. And you may be thinking, we're pretty far into this video. How the heck are you going to finish the rest of those things before the video ends? I think we might have to split this into 3 parts. Oh, dang it. I want this ride to be even better than I could have ever imagined, and I'm pouring my heart and soul into it. I hope you can tell. But hey, since we're here, let me show you. Look at this bridge. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. This is what I did on my live stream this week, and it looks even better in the nighttime. So now that you've seen what I've been up to, let's work on the sewers. It's almost time to make a decision. You'll drop down into the drain, go up the little water tube, go into a dry area, right into the water slide that will take you all the way down to the choices at the bottom. The first choice, death. Oh boy, I would not want to fall down there. Next up is wealth. Look at all those diamonds. He's a collector. He would love all that money. Unless he doesn't even use diamonds. He might just think this is a blue rock. He could also choose companionship. I wonder who could be down that path. And finally, he can go back home. I have decided you guys are going to have to wait till the end of today's video to see the final choice that our Nautilus takes for the ride. So I'm not going to show you me building the next room. I did contemplate doing 4 separate endings, but this has been way too big of a project. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, longer and longer, and now the ride as it is about 3.5 minutes long. And I still have to do the finale. But with that, we can mark off sewers, and that's it. But for now, we're going to skip the finale and work on the elevator and the exit. The elevator is this here. We come all the way from the bottom up to here, and then it becomes a hanging ride up into the attraction's end. And right here, I want to add a second Zombie Nautilus that will be bumped up once the first Nautilus gets halfway through the ride, so that there will always be a Zombie Nautilus in the exit and in the entrance. That way it can feed double the amount of people through. It is a very long ride. But I'm just going to finish this up by extending this portion up to the edge, decorating this area to look nice, and adding the second Zombie Nautilus. So let's get this done. It'll only take a second. Oh boy, it's our final time lapse of the episode where I built this little final ending cave that you travel through, and then I came over to the exit, made a copy of the entrance, and then made it into a nighttime scene to add some contrast. And there we have it. The curse of the Nautilus is now complete. Well, the inside part. The part you can't really see right now, but you can see that I duplicated this area over to here, made it nighttime, and now we have 2 ride vehicles. And this is kind of illegal. I don't want you to ever see both of them on screen at once. So when the facade is built, that won't happen. But this is the tube that you travel upward. I put bubble columns with magma blocks on the bottom, so they go down, so it looks like you're going up even faster than you actually are. And this is the tube that the pig goes up behind the wall and goes down below. Originally, I had the pig above you to make a hanging ride, and that worked while it was dry. And then I added the water, and your head was basically in the ceiling the entire time. So I modified it to make the pig go down below the ride again before you go up this small cave section. It is a little bit choppy when you're going up these slabs and stairs, but it works, so I'm fine with it. I've spent too long on this ride, I'm ready to be done, and I'm ready to take a ride. Are you guys ready to see what happens in the finale? Ho 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 ho, I am excited to show you all. But before we ride, we of course have to mark off the finale elevator and exit as completed, and, well, the rest is gonna have to wait. I'm sorry, this was a lot of work. Next episode, we're not gonna be ride focused. We're gonna finish this facade and we're gonna work on this aquatic themed land. But without further ado, how about we take this ride for a spin? But before we ride, I just want you guys look at this with an open mind. I want you to pretend you didn't see this video or the video before this, that you've never seen any of this before. And I want you to try to piece the story together yourself. Let me know how well I did at conveying the story down in the comments. Without further ado, let's take this ride for a spin. Here we are, parked right at the exit, where soon this will be a gift shop. Oh, you get all your Nautilus merchandise needs. What'd you think? Was that a good ride? I think it's pretty awesome.
I shed a tear.
Let's take another look at this finale room. Of course we chose companionship. How could we not have chosen the happy ending for this girl Nautilus? And we did a little dance together. I hope that was obvious it was supposed to be a dance. I was trying to make this room purposefully barren. I wanted it to be pretty empty. The girl Nautilus as the main attraction. Because you're choosing her over everything that you have ever known. So it's just a bunch of kelp, seagrass, little cod swimming in schools, and the background is pretty blank, of course. I think it works really well. It's just a gradient from the sandstone to the blue wool with some green blocks to make the kelp look like it's in the background. And then of course we have the giant rocks in the center with bubble columns going up, signifying this is the exit and the end of the ride. They all lived happily ever after. The end. And with that, that's also the end of today's video. If you enjoyed, I would really appreciate if you left a like and subscribe. And leave a comment down below what you think I should do for the next ride, or if you have any improvements for this ride. If you would like to work with me side by side on this project, communicating at any time you would like, go ahead and join my Discord server down in the description down below. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Later. I'm breaking the walls. Oh, and check out those lovely mountains as well. How could I forget? They're just so beautiful.